All right, get ready, because today we're diving deep into the world of Wyoming ground squirrels
Oh, yeah.
and their amazing ways of dealing with heat.
Yeah.
We're using a 1985 scientific paper from Physiological Zoology to guide us today.
Okay.
And it's all about how these guys keep their cool
Right.
in these mountain meadows where the sun can be pretty brutal.
What's really neat is that this paper
Yeah.
looks into this thing called operative temperature.
Okay.
It's not just about how hot the air is,
You know.
it's how the environment actually feels to the squirrel.
Like standing in the sun versus being in the shade.
Exactly. Huge difference. And the researchers actually went out and measured this operative temperature or using these metal squirrel statues.
Hold on,
Yeah.
statues.
Yeah.
They put statues out in the field.
Yeah, you heard right.
Wow.
It sounds kind of funny.
Yeah.
But think about it. A metal statue heats up just like a real squirrel.
Okay.
They used the statues to see how their calculations for Tay matched up with like a simple real-world measurement.
So this statue method worked.
It did.
Really?
The statues were surprisingly accurate.
Wow.
It's a good reminder that sometimes simple solutions can be just as effective as complicated ones.
I love that.
Yeah.
Okay, so they figured out how to measure how hot it feels to a squirrel.
Yeah.
What did they learn about how the squirrels actually deal with those high temperatures?
Well, they found that when the operative temperature got above 33 degrees C,
Okay.
the squirrel's body temperature started rising.
Oh, wow. That's hot.
Yeah.
I would be looking for some shade and a cold drink.
Yeah. And
At that point, for sure.
But here's the thing.
Okay.
Wyoming ground squirrels don't try to cool down by changing their posture or finding shade. They have a different strategy.
What is their secret?
They just limit their time above ground when it gets too hot.
Really?
That's it.
So they're basically saying, nope, too hot, I'm out.
Yeah, basically,
geez, that's-
it's all about energy conservation. And what's really interesting is that this is the same strategy used by desert squirrels
Really?
who live where it's super hot for way longer.
So these mountain meadow squirrels are doing the same thing as their desert cousins.
Yep.
That's wild.
Like evolution found a winning formula and said, hey, this works. Let's use it over here, too.
I like that.
Different environments, similar challenges, and a shared solution.
I love it.
There are some subtle differences, though.
Okay.
The Wyoming ground squirrels don't have to be quite as frantic about the heat.
Oh, right, because it's not as hot.
Exactly. Their environment isn't as relentlessly hot, so they're a bit more chill.
Life in the mountain meadows.
Yeah.
A little more laid back, huh?
You could say that.
I like it. So they're not like running around when it's super hot out.
Right.
What do they do with all that extra time?
Well, the paper suggests that they probably do most of their foraging in the cooler morning and evening hours. They save the midday heat for digestion and, maybe relaxing.
Yeah. You mentioned this picket pin posture earlier.
Oh, yeah.
Now that sounds interesting.
Yeah.
What is that?
So remember how we were talking about how these squirrels don't change positions to regulate temperature?
Right.
Well, there's an exception.
Oh, an exception to the rule.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm listening.
The squirrel stands straight up on its hind legs,
Okay.
stretches its body tall and thin,
Wow.
almost like it's trying to disappear into the background.
So it's like turning into a tiny flagpole.
Exactly.
Wow.
And it turns out
Yeah?
this posture can be really effective at reducing their exposure to the sun,
Oh, I thought.
especially during those peak heat hours.
So it's like a secret weapon for when they have to be out in the sun.
Right.
A quick cool down.
Exactly.
Without going back to the burrow.
It just shows that even small changes in behavior can make a big difference when dealing with the environment.
It's like their own built-in sunshade.
Yeah.
So we've got these Wyoming ground squirrels hanging out in their meadows,
Mm-hmm.
chilling in their burrows in the hottest part of the day.
Yeah.
Maybe doing this picket pin pose every now and then.
Right.
It all sounds pretty nice, actually.
Does sound pretty nice.
Yeah.
But these squirrels aren't just sitting around.
Right.
They're always making decisions about when to be active and when to conserve energy.
So they're pretty tuned in to their environment.
Exactly.
It's easy to look at a squirrel and just think, oh, that's cute.
I know.
But they're actually pretty smart.
Yeah, they're really sophisticated.
That whole statue method for measuring operative temperature blew my mind.
It is pretty wild.
Who would have thought that a metal squirrel could help us understand how real squirrels feel heat?
It's a great example of how scientific research can take you in unexpected directions.
Yeah.
Sometimes the most interesting discoveries come from thinking outside the box.
I love that.
It's a good reminder
Yeah.
to not underestimate the power of creativity.
Absolutely.
And thinking outside the box.
This whole deep dive into the world of Wyoming ground squirrels has been really interesting.
I agree.
It's amazing what we can learn from studying even the smallest creatures.
Absolutely. I completely agree.
Yeah.
And I think there's a bigger lesson here.
Okay. Okay, what's that bigger lesson?
Well, it's about adaptability
Okay.
and resilience.
Mm-hmm.
These squirrels have figured out how to thrive
Right.
in an environment with changing temperatures by
Yeah.
making smart decisions
Right.
about when to be active,
Yeah.
when to conserve energy, and
Mhm.
how to make the most of their resources.
Makes sense.
Yeah. And it's a strategy we can all learn from.
Right, especially as we face our own challenges in a
Exactly.
changing world.
Yeah, it's about working with nature, not against it,
Okay.
being mindful of our limitations,
Right.
finding solutions to the problems we face.
Yeah, and maybe even taking a cue from the squirrels
Oh, yeah.
and enjoying a little midday relaxation.
A good siesta.
A well-timed siesta
Right.
could be just what we need
Yeah.
to
Yeah,
recharge and
it's-
face the rest of the day.
Sign me up for that.
Yeah,
This deep dive has been really eye-opening.
I agree.
It's amazing to see how much we can learn
Yeah,
from studying these creatures.
absolutely.
And for anyone listening
Yeah.
who's thinking, okay, that's cool about squirrels, but what does it have to do with me?
I would say
Yeah.
this research reminds us that even the smallest creatures
Right.
can offer valuable insights into bigger questions
Okay.
about adaptation,
Yeah.
resilience, and how life on Earth interacts with the environment.
Well said.
Thank you.
I think it also encourages us to pay attention to
Yeah.
the world around us.
I agree.
There are amazing stories happening everywhere.
Yeah,
If we just take the time to look.
absolutely.
Maybe next time you see a squirrel running around,
Yeah.
you'll view it with a little more appreciation.
Yeah, a newfound appreciation
Yeah.
for their resourcefulness and adaptability.
Yeah.
And maybe even a little envy for their siestas.
Exactly. I know. I will.
Yeah.
Huge thanks to our expert today
Oh, thank you.
for taking us on this journey into the world of Wyoming ground squirrels.
It's been my pleasure.
And to all our listeners out there,
Yeah.
thanks for joining us on another deep dive.
Yes.
We hope you learned something new,
I hope so.
had a few laughs along the way,
Yeah.
and gained a new appreciation for squirrels.
Until next time, stay curious.